The most hypocritical leader in the whole world is General Kaguta Museveni. He came out to reveal that he is planning to reduce the numbers of members of parliament in Uganda. He cited that he went to Tanzania, which is bigger than Uganda, having less members of parliament. I think Tanzania has 357. Kenya has also 300 and thereabout members of parliament. Yet both those countries are bigger in size, they have a bigger GDP and a strong economy, yet we still have more members of parliament. So by himself coming out to say and to pretend as if he didn't know, he doesn't know this, it is hypocritical. Let nobody ever lie to you that General Museveni does not know what he talks about. Or let nobody ever tell you that General Museveni is stupid. He's not. There's no leader who can lead a country for 40 years by mistake. But every time he comes out to speak about things which pain Ugandans, he gives them a contempt. He thinks that we don't understand. In the video I'm going to play you, General Museveni came out to say that he's planning to reduce on members of parliament, and I'm going to give you the reason as to why he is mocking Ugandans. Before I proceed, let me first play a tape when General Museveni was saying this. Here's a tape.
The other day I was in Tanzania. Tanzania is a country which is 3.5 times the size of Uganda in land area. It is 330,000 square miles, when Uganda is 93,000 square miles. It has got a population now of 60 million. We are now about 48 million. But their parliament is 370 MPs. Ours is now 500 something. This is not wise. We should slow down. The parliament will be too big. We did the right thing to handle the issue of the women, the issue of the youth, the disabled, the workers, even the soldiers. I think let's just slow down there, because otherwise it will be too big.
That is General Kaguta Museveni. It is true that Tanzania is bigger in size. Tanzania's economy is even more bigger. Even the population is big. But we have more members of parliament, 557 members of parliament. The Communist Party of China also has 500 members of parliament. China has a GDP even bigger than Uganda, at a tune of almost 100,000 times, 100 times. They have a population which is more than 1.5 billion. They almost have the same members of parliament. Okay, California has a bigger GDP than Uganda, but in terms of administration, Uganda has very many. So if General Museveni comes out to play contempt as if he doesn't know these things, he's lying. First of all, the reason why these constituents are created is to entrench the dictatorship. Dictators all over the country do a thing known as gerrymandering. Gerrymandering means you go in your stronghold and create a lot of constituencies. There is no doubt, even General Museveni at his weakness has a stronghold. Okay? Even a bad person can have a stronghold. So what he does, he creates more constituencies so that he can get a proper representation. Like for example, Shema municipality, I think is small like this, but it was created because of political expedience. When Kayendo Tafire was defeated in Mitoma, he created his own constituency. But because NRM knows that either way they will win the constituency, they let it to happen. So the reason is why you have very many members of parliament. One, it is political expedience and gerrymandering which favors General Kaguta Museveni. Okay? Until the nation understands, how can you tell me that Kenya has two houses, the Senate and the Parliament? Senate, they have 300 and something, 27 members of Parliament. Senate, they have 57. So if you combine two houses, Uganda's parliament is way more still bigger than what the two houses of parliament Kenya have. Okay? And nobody lied to you that General Museveni doesn't know that. General Museveni is informed. So he's just coming out to play politics as if he has something for a country. There is no sane leader who can allow to have such a big parliament. And in fact, the problem comes from here. How can you give a wolf keys to guard the kraal of your sheep or cows? It will eat it. Okay? Parliament gave its own powers. Parliament has powers to create constituencies. What do you expect? Especially this NRM regime. Very many countries don't give powers to Parliament to create constituencies. They don't. In fact, in very many jurisdictions, there is a law that describes a constituency. For example, in Kenya, there is a law that limits how big the constituency is supposed to be. The minimum people are supposed to be in that electoral area. For example, they can come out with a law that says that starting from this square miles is supposed to be a constituency. Starting from this number of people is supposed to be a constituency. If the the number of people, okay, if the number of people go beyond this, it's supposed to be given a constituency level or a municipality. So there will be a law that covers the whole country. Every person will follow under that act. But in Uganda, a president can come out and say, these people are asking for me a constituency, I've given them. These people are asking for a constituency and given them. And they are given on the basis of politics. There are some constituencies which are very big, with a lot of people, yet they are not given a constituency level. Yet you find other constituencies with very few people getting a constituency level. How can you tell me that Busiro East, Busiro South, Busiro East, where Mila Segona comes from, it has almost 1 million people, 500 something electoral areas. It's very big and it's one constituency. It can hold other 5 constituencies together. How can you tell me that Wakiso has a fewer constituencies than some regions, yet Wakiso is the most populated area? So you clearly see that there is a narrative that is being peddled by General Kaguta Museveni, where constituencies are created because of politics, not because of service delivery. Because if it was about service delivery, that law would be passed, so that there is the requirement of a constituency, the number of people, the size. Okay, but every time you leave it to these hooligans in parliament, they'll find a way to create and break constituencies for their own benefit, where some parties, a person loses an election and decides to form a constituency. Those things must stop. So for me, I think General Museveni saying those statements is something which is unfortunate, because he knows what is going on. Of course, that's my opinion. I remain yours, Mr. Makindi Kabuye Sulaiman Mawagai, the next MP for Makindi East constituency. I will see you on another one. Peace.
Yes, Kabuye Sulaiman Mawagali. I am putting in my request to fly the NUP flag high in Makindi East constituency, so that I can represent the great people of Makindi East. Nkomyewo omulundi ogwokubiri n'obwongo nga bwesera nga busera ebiwandiiko byange mbirese bibino.